Hey, I'm Satya, and this is my video for my United States history class. The objective of this project is to take some facet of United States history that we have learned so far and dive into it a little more in depth. Our textbook is The American Pageant by David Kennedy and Elizabeth Cohen, and so far we have covered most of Unit 1, The Road to Revolution. So I started working on my project when a pop-up ad appeared on my computer screen. The pop-up ad was for the new Star Wars movie, Star Wars The Last Jedi. For those of you who don't know, Star Wars The Last Jedi opens in theaters the day this project is due. At this point, I got a little more distracted and started watching some YouTube videos on The Last Jedi. It is at this point that an ad at the beginning of the YouTube video caught my attention. This ad was for the Star Wars TV show Star Wars Rebels. After watching this ad, I got a little more interested in the show and I did a little bit of research. After my research, I found out that this TV show could be just what I needed for this project. You could almost say it was meant to be.
For my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is.
So, let's get started. So this TV show is set on the planet of Lothal right now in the series, and though as not familiar as the movies, this was the best example I could find. Throughout this show, different comparisons can be drawn between it and all of the founding of the new nation, from the very beginning to the very end. So the planet of Lothal came under the rule of the Galactic Empire about 10 years ago as of the series. The Galactic Empire started to strip Lothal of its natural resources and subjugate its people. Now, however, the planet is used to support the Empire's labor requirements as well as its factory requirements. Lastly, Lothal is also the home to many obedient galactic citizens. So what does any of this have to do with United States history? Well, this reminded me of a document that we read at the beginning of our United States history course, which was an excerpt from Christopher Columbus's diary. Christopher Columbus wrote in part of this journal that the natives would be easy to corral and dominate. The document also insinuates Columbus's proposition to use the native resources to the Spanish advantage. While it is under debate whether Christopher Columbus meant these things wholeheartedly, or just said what the Spanish king wanted to hear, this declaration, I think, wouldn't prove unique compared to the account the first imperial scout would have given when they arrived on Lothal. It is also not a stretch to say that they could have done so just to please their superiors, since this kind of thing is seen in imperial interactions throughout Star Wars. It is in this way Lothal reminds me of the European colonization of the Americas. As stated, the Europeans used the native resources and indigenous people to their advantage, much like the Empire does. Other concepts such as salutary neglect are also seen in the Star Wars Rebels TV show. Salutary neglect is a concept so fundamental to the creating of the new nation because it gave the American people an unequally American experience and allowed them to identify as an American rather than a European. This concept in Star Wars Rebels is seen throughout all 4 seasons. In that time, a Lothal-based rebellion was allowed to form. This was due to the apparent neglect of authority by the Empire, which ultimately led to the implication of a stronger imperial presence on the planet, such as the blockade. During this period of imperial salutary neglect on Lothal, residents of the planet were able to live according to their own rules. One could call this the Lothalian way of life. This, much like the American identity found during the salutary neglect by the British king, was not something people were quick to give up. Hence the rebels in the title Star Wars Rebels. So I guess I was lucky to pick up on these connections just from a mere ad. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys go see Star Wars The Last Jedi in theaters today. I will be seeing it in about 5 to 3 hours of the time this video is due. Also guys, I did have to take a look at a couple of the Star Wars Rebels episodes to film this video, and if Star Wars is something that you are at all interested in, you should definitely check out this series and see if it's something that you would enjoy. So once again, thanks for watching the video, and have a great day.